A man used a rubber band to tie the pin of a grenade, dripped corrosive liquid on the rubber band, then pulled out the grenade safety pin and placed the grenade on a gas canister. He was planning to blow up the terrorists in the room and then quickly escape the scene. But on his way out, he saw a mother and her child, which reminded him of his own wife and son, who had died in an explosion. A few days earlier, Eddie had gone to a restaurant to pick up his wife and child when a motorcycle by the roadside suddenly exploded, throwing the scene into chaos. Eddie had wanted to rush over to rescue his wife and son, but he was hit by a speeding car and knocked unconscious on the spot. When he woke up, he found that his wife and son had left him forever. The police successfully identified the terrorist Jack by checking the nearby surveillance cameras. Eddie was a firefighter, but he swore to catch Jack. The police called Eddie to tell him that Jack was the leader of a rebel group in a certain country, and since the two countries were in peace talks, they couldn't rush to arrest him. Eddie was furious upon hearing this, but he wouldn't give up. Determined to avenge his wife and son, Eddie checked Jack's detailed information, planned the entire route for his revenge operation, and then went alone to the country where Jack was located. Eddie pretended to be a repairman and arrived at one of the rebels' bases, where he obtained a pass from the security chief. For the safety of the base, the leader took out a mask and asked Eddie to put it on. They arrived at a manor, which was a drug manufacturing workshop. The leader led Eddie to a machine that needed repair and then left. Eddie took apart the machine, and while the guards weren't looking, he secretly poured a small bottle of corrosive liquid, which he hid in a lighter. The security chief reported Eddie's entry into the country to Jack, and that night Jack ordered his men to capture Eddie. Hearing the commotion, Eddie quickly left and took the opportunity to throw a Molotov cocktail. The fire immediately ignited the drugs, and chaos broke out at the scene. Eddie took the chance to hide under a truck and followed the men sent to catch him. When they returned to the base, Eddie found Jack there. He went to a gas canister, took out a grenade, placed it on the canister, and hid it well. Eddie quickly left the scene, and when he got outside, he spotted a mother and her child. Worried about harming innocent people, he hurried forward to stop them from approaching, but his shouts were heard by Jack. Jack quickly fled the scene and had his men seize Eddie. When Eddie woke up, he found a woman arguing with Jack. After a while, the woman brought some food to Eddie. She was Jack's wife, Anna. Anna said Jack was planning to launch a terrorist attack, that she was tired of this kind of life, and hoped Eddie could take her and their child away. Eddie agreed, and then the three of them quietly left the rebel base. Soon, Eddie and the others returned to the intelligence agency. Colleagues wanted to get information about Jack's whereabouts from Anna, while Eddie stayed by to accompany Anna's son. After all this, Anna was ready to take her son and leave, but her son refused to go with her. Anna made a gesture to the boy and then left alone. This caught Eddie's attention. He looked up and saw a photo on the wall, realizing it was the code used by the terrorists before an operation. Eddie instantly sensed something was wrong and rushed into the bathroom to find the woman, but there was only a knocked-out policeman inside. Anna had long since disappeared. Eddie remembered that Anna had been staring at her phone earlier and had been holding a dinosaur toy when going through security. He deduced that the toy must contain a remote-controlled bomb, and that the toy was now in the little boy's hands. Eddie returned to the office, grabbed the toy from the boy's hand, told him to hide under the desk, and then immediately began evacuating the crowd. On the other side, Anna was entering commands. Eddie smashed the glass in the ceiling with a suitcase and threw the toy in his hand out. The last command was entered, and the toy exploded. Taking advantage of the chaos, Anna fled to the basement, with Eddie closely pursuing her. Jack was already waiting there. Watching them leave, Eddie went to the control panel and closed the security door. They had to turn around and head for another exit. Eddie picked up an axe and split the natural gas pipe. When Anna saw Eddie, she pulled out a pistol and shot at him, which caused the natural gas to